shock right here in, looking fresh. Still waiting on the control arms. What's up, guys? I'm on my way to full parts. I just got a text saying that my Rock Krawer arms just came in, so I got all 8 adjustable mid arms, so I'm gonna go pick those up. And I'm still working on the cage right now, so I'm gonna get that knocked out first, and I'm probably gonna install the arms within the next day or two. Go get the alignment and everything like that, so stay tuned, it's gonna be cool. Alright guys, finally got the arms back to the house. These things are gonna be beefy, man. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna be working by myself today, so I'll be keeping you guys updated once I get the stock ones out, those control arm brackets that I have in there, and when I get them in, and I'll let you know if I have any problems. We got instructions. So we got the rear uppers. Alright, so these are the rear lowers. These are a lot beefier than the uppers are. Here are the front uppers. I've noticed that the uppers on the front and rear are a lot smaller for obvious reasons. These are adjustable on both ends. The rear uppers are adjustable on both ends as well. And here's the ones that you're really gonna see that are the front lowers, which are very beefy. So the front and rear lowers look similar. The front lowers, the rear lowers are only adjustable on one end, while the uppers are adjustable on both ends. Very heavy compared to stock. Gonna be able to break out the new torque wrench today. Gonna use that for the first time. That top bolt is hard to get out because of the exhaust hangers in the way. So if those brackets decide to drop, I'm gonna try to stay clear at all times possible from the axle or anything, if anything funny starts to happen. And I'm putting the stock hardware back in the locations it came from. So I forgot that you actually do have to disassemble the bracket to get it to come out, because it is sandwiched on this lip right here. So I'm gonna have to take out these bolts anyways. There's the first arm, the upper arm. So here's the bracket. I was able to leave the bottom one in because I took out the upper arm bolts right here. and just pried it off that lip there. So I'm just about to set these arms to length. I'm gonna do the front lowers and the front uppers. And once I get those set to length, I'm gonna put the Zerk fittings in. Front lower control arms, 3.5 inch lift is what I have. 23 1/8. So the threads are looking the same on these right here. The distance counted the same number of threads. That may not be completely accurate, but it helps a little bit. So they're measuring out to be about 23 1/8 right there. So I was doing a good bit of research on the forums on these Rock Krawer arms before I bought them. And a lot of people were saying that their jam nuts would come loose eventually and they'd have to keep retorquing them, but Rock Krawer themselves got on the forums and said that you can use a little bit of Loctite. So in my case, I'm going to use a little bit of blue Loctite instead of the red, just in case, so the guys won't have any issues when they're adjusting these for the alignment. So I installed the control arm backwards so I can get to it to torque down the jam nut, because it's very hard to get to right there. So once I have, my pry bar in here to keep the joint straight, and I'll torque this down, I'll just swap it around like how it should be. I'm gonna go ahead and put the top arm in so I'll have more room before I put the bottom one in to tighten it down. Alright, I got that jam nut torqued. I got it back in the way it's supposed to be. Put a little bit of blue Loctite. Not really sure why Rock Krawer gave me this extra grade 8 bolt. It's not on the other upper arm either, so I guess I won't use that. I don't really understand why they would include that. So I've got the upper and lowers in. All the bolts are torqued. Everything that needs Loctite has Loctite. As you can see, I had to jack the axle up on the back of the diff there where the drive shaft connects to rotate the axle enough to get those bolts in. If I had a lift, this would have been a lot easier, but working on the ground's pretty difficult and takes a lot longer. So you have to kind of finesse the axle and rotate it, like caster wise, this way or this way to get the bolts in right. About to start on this side. I'm just gonna repeat the same process as I did on that side. Once those are in, then go to the rear. Alright, that's it for the front, guys. All 4 upper and lower arms are in. All the bolts and everything are torqued like they should be. So now I'm just ready for the alignment. Alright guys, so I'm getting the rear arms adjusted. I've got the rear uppers set at about 19.5 is what they called for. About 19.5 there. And I've got the rear lowers set for about 21 inches. So I'm gonna put just a tad bit of Loctite on these jam nuts, get them in, torque everything down, that'll be it. As you guys can see, the axle's gonna have to slide back a pretty decent bit. So there's the bolt hole, there's the control arm, so I'm gonna have to move back about 2 or 3 inches, I'd say. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to slide this axle back. So I'm gonna have to disconnect those control arms and try to shift it backwards. Okay, so I have those control arms connected on the driver's side. I just drooped the axle down. I disconnected the sway bar of the shock so it could droop fully. So that way the axle can still be able to hold, so I can, pull this side enough to get this in. As you can see, it's a lot further back now. So I went ahead and drooped the coil out. I'm gonna go ahead and put these correction wedges in. Alright guys, so all 8 arms are officially in. Everything is nice and torqued down. Just put the decal on the lower arm. So I ran into a problem on mine, since I do still have the stock track bar it's hitting on my shock right now, so I'm probably gonna have to get an adjustable track board to lower that so it clears the shock. Since the axle is pushed back, it landed on my shock right here, so I had to unbolt the shock. So I'll have to figure something out. I'm supposed to go get my alignment right now. So what I'm having to do is I'm gonna have to jack it back up, take the tires off, and I'm gonna have to shorten the rear arms to adjust my pinion angle this way more, so it's not gonna rub on the shock anymore. So that way I can drive it to the shop and get them to align everything. So I just got the jam nuts tightened up, both of them on each side. I've got the upper arm shortened, so as you can see, the shock clears a lot better now. The bracket right here on the corner was hitting about right there on the shock. So you guys can see that I turned the pinion angle this way more, so that clears a lot better. So now I'm about to take it to the alignment shop, have everything dialed in perfectly. And yeah, that'll be it for all the control arms. Yeah guys, I'm really glad I ran into that issue, so now I have more knowledge on, you know, pinion angles and all of that, and just the importance of, you know, suspension geometry and control arms and everything like that. So, you know, running into issues like that just helps you learn more. That's another reason why I like doing stuff myself. It's always a good idea to retorque your wheel spacers if you have wheel spacers whenever you have the wheels and tires off. I think they say to do it every couple thousand miles, but I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. Alrighty guys, alignment's done. All 8 arms are in spec and where they should be. Everything is torqued down, jam nuts are torqued down. It's just ready to roll. So as you guys can see, I have more clearance on the rear pinch seam right here now. That helps a lot. They recommended me getting a new rear drive shaft because, you know, shorter wheelbase on a 2-door. They said if the rear axle compresses more, that it would probably damage my drive shaft, you know, it'd pull it apart. So might have to look at getting a new drive shaft. Might as well do front and rear. So the steering wheel is straight now, that was aligned. And the caster is really good now. As you can see, it was at 1.7 before, now it's at 4.3. Yeah guys, the steering wheel feels a lot more tighter and controllable, just like it did when it was stock.